Hello friends and fellow gamers, this week we have a brand new Transcendence hero added to the game. Williams has a Transcendence form and it looks really good. But with that we get a really interesting event, and this is not a normal Transcendence event. Instead it copies the formula of other events we've seen that combine the glorious treasury with heroic summons. So this means there's a lot of amazing opportunities for free-to-play players and spenders to get some really incredible rewards. So we're going to be breaking all of that down for you today. Before we do that though, let me remind you, this weekend we have the Idle Heroes 10-star Cup. We have 16 competitors all lined up with teams of 10-star heroes ready to battle each other to find out who is the strongest. Treasure Train, Star Spawns, and all such things are banned. It is an even playing field, and we're excited to see who is going to be the winner. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the tournament, as it's happening throughout this weekend, so stay tuned for live streams here on YouTube. Anyway folks, let's go ahead and check out this week's event for Idle Heroes. So, given that we have a Heroic Summons event this week, we're getting 3 scrolls every day for logging in, along with 150 gems. And these gems are going to be super useful, as you do need gems to get the top rewards this week. Looking at the cool events, because it's a Transcendence event, you can actually select your reward hero for this week. So make sure you go to the Summon Circle and select any of the 5-star heroes in the game that you would like to have an increased chance of getting. Every 500 scrolls you do is guaranteed to get you one of these heroes, and more importantly, it makes them the reward hero for this week. So if you go to the Palace of Eternity, you can swap any of the 5 heroes you see here into that hero you select, and that's going to cost you 10 Eternal Crystals. And you can do that up to 9 times, but after that point, the price increases by 5. Also, guys, if you want to, you can go and get some more of these Eternal Crystals from the Palace of Crystal by using 400 scrolls. Each 400 gets you 5, and if you go into the value packs and either buy the $100 pack or the $2,500 Contract Starry Gem pack, you'll get yourself an additional 15 of these Eternal Crystals for each key you buy. Also, carrying over from last week, just for today, we have the Radiant Temple, so make sure you go ahead and cash in your Radiant coins if you haven't already. I would recommend, typically for most people, aiming for these Treasure Train chests, because improving your Treasure Train stats is useful across all areas of the game. Now, one additional place where your selected hero can get you rewards is the Hero Lottery, because that reward hero, every time you get a copy of them, you will get 4-star armor. Now, that's really important if you don't plan to use Heroic Summon Scrolls this week, and we'll explain the different reasons whether you should or shouldn't momentarily. But yeah, let's say you don't plan to do your Heroic Summon Scrolls. What you can do is look in your bag for a hero you have a lot of copies of. So take, for example, this Melissa right here. I have 23 copies. That is loads! Now, let's say I selected Melissa to be my up hero. I could then summon all 23 copies, and that will get me 23 sets of 4-star armor, which is extremely useful for things in the blacksmith. So if you were wanting to maximize your progress this week without using scrolls, that's one really cool trick that you can use. Now, if you choose to use your Heroic Summon Scrolls this week, you'll get your usual Prophet Orbs and Scrolls as a reward for each of the tier points, and every scroll you use gets you a point, which results in these prizes. 200 points is going to get you a penny, 300 gets you 2 Dispelling Amulets, which is quite nice. They're important resources for this week, along with the Soul Symbols and Cause of Transcendence. If you get 400, you'll get a copy of your selected hero, and finally for 500, you get the usual relics and a core, but on top of that you get 3 Dispelling Amulets. So that's a total of 5 for 500 scrolls used, so 20 in total if you're planning to push this event. And finally, for the cool events, we've got ourselves the Hero Exchange, which lets you get a copy of Melissa and Queen for the humble price of 4,500 for Melissa and 3,000 for Queen. So these two are Transcendence heroes, and if you are hoping to get a copy of them either to awaken or build on your account, this is a nice way to do that. So that's the stuff for the main part of the event, but then we get this bonus part called the Scarlet Sonata. Every 18 of these Dispelling Amulets that you use to free Williams from his cage will get you 10 whimsical roses. And these roses are really important because they will get you access to this area here called the Fortune Treasure Shop. This is basically a glorious treasury, and those 10 roses can be cashed in for some really nice rewards. The first shop gets you a 50% discount on your initial 4 purchases, and typically Stellar Shards are the best thing to go with. Also, Store 2 has the option of getting artifacts for 10 roses as well. Once you've spent 10, you'll get yourself access to Shop 3, and that has 2 opportunities to have a 50% discount, giving you access to Sublimation and Cause of Transcendence. Typically, players will rather have sublimation as it does improve your heroes, but if you're pushing for destiny, then I can understand why you'd go for Core of Origin shards so that you can give your heroes a full max noble core and get them unlocked in the destiny. Further to that, store 4 and 5 will unlock after you've consumed 60 roses, giving you access to Origin artifacts, and store 5 is interesting because this is giving you destiny materials, but the first 2 purchases get 50% off. That is amazing. They've never done this before, and I really like that. And finally, if you spend 120 whimsical roses, you'll unlock these life soul abilities here. These can be used to improve your heroes once they're up to Nirvana. So this is something for super duper late game players, but it's something to consider if that's you. Either way, how on earth do we get all these roses? We've already said that you can get yourself 10 for doing 18 amulets, and we've already looked, you can get 20 just from doing scrolls. Well, folks, we also have other options, such as the Duel of Fate. This is not Star Wars, but instead Elena versus Natalie. Most people are going left here and choosing Elena as the hero, mainly because it's underneath where it says victory, and you can see if you go ahead and do this 40 times, you'll get yourself dispelling amulets. So what you need to do is join the fight and go ahead and purchase these bombs with gems. Then what you do is you fire that bomb for your team, and that will get you nice rewards. The rewards in question are a mixture of stellar shards, crystals of transcendence, some celestial island resources, you can get sublimation, all sorts of things thrown into here, so good luck getting something nice. However, what's more important is once you've done 40 of these, which will cost you 24,000 gems, you will get 30 dispelling amulets. If gems aren't your style, you can also use Contract Starry Gems, and that's 40 each to get a bomb. So maybe a mixture of that's what you want to do. Maybe you're just going to go all in on gems. That would be my recommendation. But if you've got 24,000 gems, you can get yourself something really nice this week, these dispelling amulets. So 30 of these amulets is really nice because it's going to get you an initial 18 that you can use to get 10 whimsical roses, and you're already 12 along the way to get yourself some more. So you will need to get yourself 6 additional anks to get another 20 whimsical roses. Well, fortunately, if we zoom all the way to the bottom, we have a good luck relay. And for free, you will get yourself 2 amulets. That means we only need 4 more now. And there's 2 really clean ways to get 4. Either you can spend 500 heroic summon scrolls, and that will get you access to the total of 37. 37 is good because that's enough for 2 lots of 18. However, if you want to save your 500 scrolls, let's say you do not have a lot of scrolls on your account and you know that there are going to be other good scroll events coming forwards and this will just wipe you out clean, the other option you can do is go into value packs, look at Starry Gem packs, and scroll all the way to the bottom. If you spend 500 Contract Starry Gems, that's going to get you 2,000 gems, 56 heroic summon scrolls, and on top of that, you'll be getting 4 treasure coupons and 4 dispelling amulets. That's for buying this package at the bottom twice. That's really, really nice, and that'll take you exactly to 36 anks, which is enough for 2 lots of rewards. This, for me, is the favorable decision for people who do not have a lot of scrolls, and I think is actually one of the better options that you can do this week. So if you've got 500 Contract Starry Gems lying around and you want to save 500 scrolls because you don't have many and you know you'll need them for future big events, such as maybe Chinese New Year or Christmas, depending on what the devs are planning for those events, then heck yeah, you will get yourself a lot of rewards without using scrolls. So I think that's a really, really good decision that you should definitely consider. And by doing that, you'll be able to get 20 lots of these whimsical roses, which means you can get 2 lots of stellar shards, then move to store 3 and grab 2 lots of sublimation or cores if you need them. And I think that is absolutely brilliant value for free-to-play players. And for that, all you need to do is spend 24,000 gems and 500 Contract Starry Gems or 500 scrolls. To me, that is a fantastic deal and one of the best rewards we've seen for free-to-play players. Adding to that, for every scroll you use, you're going to get 10 heroic summon scrolls back, and that eventually scales up to the bottom here, where when you're in the higher levels of 1700 and beyond, you even get more scrolls back from there too. On top of that, we have reward bonuses, and this is where things get really, really exciting. If we scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see that we have these bonuses, such as the Scarlet Privilege 1, the Scarlet Privilege 2, and the Scarlet Privilege 3, which, yes, does require you to spend 130 bucks to get this far, but what it's getting you is absolutely crazy. If you take a look, the bonus rewards are initially going to get you Cores of Transcendence and a box here that contains either Crystals of Transcendence or Stellar Shards. But if you move on to the bonus rewards in the second level, you can see that you get a chest here, and that contains Sublimation or Cores And that's really exciting because you're going to get 20 of those chests in total. So that's 180,000 lots of sublimation. That's enough for a full noble skill. And finally, you've got the bonus rewards here at the end that are these fantastic chests, and they contain 30,000 Spirit Vein shards, or an equivalent value of Aurora gems. That's a total of 1.2 million Spirit Vein shards or equivalent that you can grab, because there are 2 chests for every level and there are 20 levels in total. So that's a lot of chests. That's 40 chests, all giving 30,000 Spirit Vein shards. On top of that, you're also getting copies of Williams. So what this is basically putting forwards is the proposition of saying, hey, if you spend 130 bucks this week, you are going to get yourself all these chests that contain a lot of value. However, that is only worth it, in my opinion, if you have 2,000 scrolls. If that's you, though, spending 130 bucks here feels really nice if you're after specifically Destiny materials and getting your temple to a point where you can unlock Nirvana on your most powerful heroes. So that's something you're after. The value here seems really, really good. So already we've seen free-to-play players can get something really nice, and so can spenders. So that is fantastic for great game balance. You're also getting loads of rewards thrown in on top of that as well, because if you look here, we have a Sacred Shrine, which is rewarding you for spending. If you spend 100 bucks, you are going to get yourself Treasure Selection Chest Orange here and 15 treasure coupons, along with all these rewards beforehand, which includes cores, hero copies, even more chests. You've got armor here as well. You've got some Prism Starry Gems thrown in there too. Some really nice stuff getting thrown around. Also, let me draw your attention to this here that's getting you Prism Starry Gems for spending 500 VIP XP. This is a brilliant opportunity to go to the monthly events and buy the monthly Carnival card, as 500 VIP is exactly what you get for purchasing this. So that's something else that you could consider. As well, if you haven't already gone ahead and cashed in some privilege cards and topped these up for the next few months, you could do that too and give these a purchase, getting yourself maybe covered for the next 6 months of Idle Heroes play. If that's what you wanted to do, that's spending a lot of money on those privilege cards in advance, which will be registered here in the VIP rewards, which will get you access to all these available currencies, which is really, really nice. Not to mention all these different treasure coupons do seem extremely attractive. So however much you're prepared to spend here, you are getting rewarded for doing so, and that's really, really nice for an event like this. And I know there are some people who are going to be absolutely crazy and go all the way to the very end of this relay, where you can see you can spend up to 400 bucks. You're getting loads of these Dispelling Amulets, a total of 80 here at the end, with 25 additional here. You've got loads of scrolls up for grabs, you've got cores, you've got Prism Starry Gems, treasure coupons, and all sorts of treasure selection chests thrown in there as well, making this really, really attractive value for people that just want to chuck loads of money at the game this week. Combine that with the additional bonuses you get for your VIP spending, and heck yeah, I can see why people would be attracted to doing this. What's really exciting as well is we get a brand new treasure selection, which you can get for the treasure train. And normally I think, oh no, not another treasure train, but this one actually looks really good. It's called the Dreamlike Fantasy, and the stats that it gives you will buff you in the Tower of Dream, Tower of Oblivion, Seal Land, and Aspen Dungeon. So if you're pushing Aspen Dungeon or trying to get more progress in the Tower of Dream, or maybe you just want further progress in your Seal Lands, these items will help you. Not to mention the fixed HP and fixed attack buffs they give are really good. Just take a look at this gnome, for example. When you fully max him, he's giving 522,000 fixed attack, which is more than an item in hero token of equivalent value will give. The Soul Conjuring Flute only gives 520, so you're getting a couple thousand more, but also 47 million HP thrown in there as well if you can upgrade this guy. So this seems like a really, really nice place to go. And the stat gains are really good. You're getting speed, which is great in Seal Land and Aspen Dungeon. You're getting damage reduction by attack, which is really good because that just improves the protection of your heroes. And you've already seen, hopefully on my pushes with the Turbo series, just how busted that can be in Aspen Dungeon. And then you've got other nice stuff here, like attack bonuses, HP bonuses, and if you take a look at this Christmas tree, this is giving holy damage. So all these skill bonuses are really, really nice, and will definitely help you make more progress in these game modes. And they ain't messing around with these lower levels either, as these ones are just giving really, really nice fixed stats, which will scale up quite nicely the more and more you upgrade them. Worth pushing then, I guess, if you have a lot of treasure train tickets, because you are actually getting these rewards for 100, not 150, which is better than the monthly exchange. So the only catch is that you have to pick items from the new treasure train, but because it doesn't look that bad, and if you've already gone ahead and pushed hero token, this probably seems like something you should definitely be focusing on. So for later game accounts, I can definitely see you guys pushing this and getting a lot of progress on your treasure train. Now, another great thing you can get for logging in every day is access to treasure coupons. So each day this week that you do log in, you'll get yourself some additional treasure coupons that you can use on your account. And if you look, the relay here, just for spending what is 15 bucks in total, because you spend 5 bucks here, this is free, then you spend 10 bucks, you'll get yourself the Bloom privilege. And that is giving you access for login rewards, which will get you an additional bunch of treasure coupons. You get 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, then 4, then 6. So that's a heck of a lot of treasure coupons up for grabs. So if you were planning on pushing the relay, that's even more of a reason to do that. Finally, there's something crazy that free-to-play players can do, or spenders if you want, and that's actually to go and look at the value packages for this week. Yes, we looked at the Palace Key, but more importantly, these are giving you Dispelling Amulets and treasure coupons. The reason I'm looking at this last is because the amulets, we needed to really realize what they were going to give you before we can evaluate this. What's super important then about this is if you look at the Starry Gem packs, all of the packages are giving you amulets. That's quite exciting because it means you can spend 20 here, you can spend an additional 10, and then you can spend 6, and that takes you to 36, which is enough for 2 more pushes in the event. You can do that again as well if you want, and that's even more pushes, which can get you tons and tons and tons of these roses. And of course, for every 10 roses that you get, or every 18 of those amulets you pick up, you'll get yourself more opportunities to buy here in the Fortune Treasure Shop. For most people, that's just going to look like buying things like Sublimation or maybe more Stellar Shards, but if you spend enough, you will get yourself access to Destiny materials and eventually these Star Soul items. So a lot of stuff available here if you are planning to push with your Contract Starry Gems, and if you just had a massive pile and you wanted to go in on this, as long as you're doing it in batches of 18, you're looking pretty good. So that might be getting 10, 6, and 2 for 18, or it could be getting 20, 10, and 6 for 36. As long as the number you grab is divisible by 18, you will be getting yourself those 10 additional roses. If you go ahead and buy all of these, you're going to get enough for 4 lots of 18, which gets you 40 additional roses. That's pretty crazy when you consider that you're also getting access to enough for another one from the Duel of Fate, and then you're also getting 2 here for free. So if you just use a few scrolls on top of that, yeah, you are getting yourself access to 60 lots of these roses, 70 if you go ahead and spend 2,000 heroic summon scrolls, and that's pretty much going to get you tons of sublimation. And if you push all the way to 70, you can even get yourself the rewards here in Store 5. And now it makes more sense why it's 50% off, because using all the Contract Starry Gem packs and all your scrolls, you'll be able to get Destiny materials not once, but because of the 50% off bonus, you can get them twice. So that could be something for free-to-play players that have a lot of Contract Starry Gems and a lot of scrolls. You can go in on this, spend 2,000 scrolls, spend all your Contract Starry Gems on value packs, and you can walk away with 2 lots of Destiny materials. Yes, it's a huge investment, but when you consider you're also able to buy multiple times from Store 3, it seems pretty worth it. I do want to draw your attention to these flower packages. These suck. Do not grab these. They're not worth it. You're just best buying the relay if you wanted to spend money. These chests are giving you a random opportunity, and I don't like that. There's a 1% chance to get a ton of treasure tickets. It's not worth the gamble. This is not worth $100. Like 10 Cores of Transcendence and what? This is awful. Yeah, please don't get this. This is just terrible, terrible value. And I don't even know why they still do this, because do people buy this? Like, doesn't make much sense to me. There are so many better ways to pick up resources in this game. So yeah, not for me, but I do think this treasure collection's good, and I do think the fact we've got a brand new hero is nice. We've also got the opportunity, because we have a new Transcendence hero, that if you awaken him, you will get points this week. These points are going to get you access to chests, and finally, an artifact. I don't think this is that good, because there is no additional bonus for awakening heroes this week. Normally in Transcendence events, that's something they do, but they seem to do a very, very different event this week, which means this feels like it's not as good value. However, if you took my advice when the Splendid Awakening card came out, you should have an additional 8 days remaining on this, which means you have a free Awaken every single day this week. So if you can get some Williams copies and awaken 1 a day, then heck yeah, that's going to massively help you if you're planning on pushing this. So yeah, that's actually really, really good, and a nice bonus for people who bought that Splendid Awakening card, and you'll be kicking yourself if you bought it early, because those people do have a significant advantage, the people who bought it late. finally, we have the time and space fight. This is basically just a normal Transcendence battle, where if you engage in a fight with Williams and any of the Transcendence heroes you can see listed here, you'll get yourself the corresponding rewards on the right-hand side. The most important being if you get a fight with Melissa and Williams, you will get yourself 5 cores of Transcendence. You can do this by just fighting someone who has all these heroes, so join our Discord as my chief moderator, Talking Scribe, has set up an account that you can add as a friend, battle, and that will get you all these prizes. So if you need help with that, you can find a link for our Discord in the description down below. Join our community and he can help you by giving you access to his account as a friend. So do go and check that out. And that's everything for this week. So good luck, folks. Lots of opportunities to pick up these dispelling amulets, whether it's scrolls, Contract Starry Gems, or spending 24,000 gems here. And using those amulets, hopefully you'll be able to get yourself something really nice in the Fortune Treasure Shop. If you are planning on spending, there's some crazy rewards getting thrown in here. And also because you're spending, you will be able to get even more Fortune Treasure Shop bonuses because the relay itself does give you access to these dispelling amulets. So all in all, it's a phenomenal event if you want to spend. It's equally fantastic if you're just free to play. And overall, the rewards you guys are picking up this week are absolutely crazy. So best of luck to everybody this week. Let me know in the comments section how far you plan on going. And I guess we should finish things by having a quick chat about Williams. A more detailed breakdown of my first impression of Williams will be coming out in the future. But to give you guys a quick heads up on what this guy can do so that you can have a little bit of knowledge about this guy going in, he's able to steal energy, put a skill effect on opponents that continually steals energy, then deals damage to them. He has the ability to silence opponents when their energy reaches 100, and he, on top of that, has incredible single target damage, which does multiple stacks of damage the more times he hits an opponent, meaning he's potentially really, really good for taking down people like bosses. Not to mention, he's able to give himself shields, and if you upgrade his core, that's going to give your whole team shields, and your whole team a maximum of 100% holy damage if he's the fastest hero on your team. So not only is this guy an incredible support, he's stealing energy, pressuring opponents, putting crowd control out there reactively, and also doing great damage himself. So looks like a really solid all-round hero that will make either a good primary or secondary homeowner. The only thing that lets him down is if you take a look at his tenants here in the Cloud Island, it's extremely disappointing. It's Patricia and Asmodel. Wow, they really, really messed up with this one. If it was Halora and Natalie, that would have been good. Or Halora and Melissa. Man, that would have been such a perfect duo for this dude. But no, they decided to give him Patricia and Asmodel, which really, really hurts his ability to be a good hero early on. However, in later game, he definitely has potential, but DHGames, you really need to consider who you're making a tenant because it does kill the viability of heroes in the early game. So yeah, unfortunate that he has these two tenants, as these are not heroes you want to be building as tenants. They're primary heroes in their own right. But I guess if you are later on, you have a surplus of Transcendence heroes and tons of Destiny lying around, then I suppose you can build this guy and make him pretty strong. However, that doesn't change the fact that he's also a really solid hero on his own. You can use him as a support. You don't have to build him as a hero who's a homeowner. Obviously, that would make him better, but you don't necessarily need to take advantage of his energy steal and his silence abilities. So all in all, looks like a really, really solid hero that I'm excited to go ahead and test. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be stuff we can do in the future. Either way, folks, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget about the Idle Heroes 10-Star Cup coming out this weekend, and good luck with this week's event. Hopefully you can pick up some nice rewards. And if you're a free-to-play player, are you going to use 500 scrolls or 500 Contract Starry Gems? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you next time. Have an amazing week. And as always, guys, happy idling.